we are out of Screa VI, which takes place technically in Manhattan, but a lot of it wasn't Manhattan. Especially the Central Park scene, which I don't know where the fuck they shot that. I'm dying to know where the fuck they shot that.
You ruined everything.
Regardless.
I came out, and one of the first things I said, like, they utilized New York pretty good. He's like, I don't want fucking New York.
Well, some of it was.
One positive out the list.
The subways look legit. I'll give them that. There was a station I didn't recognize the name, but it's different. Without going into spoilers, the middle lost me a bit, so much so that I don't know if it's jet lag or I was just super bored as I was earlier today with Scream 5, but I was fading a bit quite in the middle. And it kind of went downhill for me for the third act without spoiling anything.
I really dug the movie up until the Ghostface reveal. Like, I thought, like, okay, this is right in line with 2 and 4 and 5, and I'm casual on the franchise, but like the ones that aren't my number 1 or my number 6 at this point are all like razor thin difference. Yeah, and I was like, this is solid. I like this. Is all this good stuff. And then as soon as the Ghostface reveal comes, one after one after one after one, these huge glaring issues, and I was just like, what the fuck did you do? Yeah, like I was probably hovering around like a 4. Wow. And then the last 15 to 20 minutes dropped it closer to a 3. Maybe even farther after if I continue to get more frustrated as I think about it, because we're sitting here talking about it and I'm like, what the fuck was that? And it's like, you're right. And
yeah, because they did the Scream thing, open with somebody who's there for 10 seconds just to die for the sake of Ghostface killing them, and even at this point it's like, all right, you don't have to do every single fucking thing that Scream does. Like you can deviate, which after that they did deviate to a degree, and then we're following the 2 sisters from 5, and they're in New York in college and all this other shit, or one sister followed the other, right? Yeah,
one's in college with the other 3 that are her age, and the older sister is just like a guardian that's like, no, you ain't going nowhere without me, bitch. Yeah.
She dresses up as a Mickey Mouse on Times Square just to just to make ends meet. But it felt okay. Like, okay, they're going in a different direction. We don't need Neve Campbell. We don't need Courtney Cox, but she's got a new gig, and there were a couple of lines that reminded you that it's a Scream movie, that meta lines and all references.
Didn't you feel like everything that they did to make this different, it was like, okay, cool, I'm going with this, and then everything that they put in there to like really make it feel like Scream almost felt forced?
Yes. The first act, it felt like, all right, this may not be Scream 1, but it's fresh. It's something different. And the middle I didn't find very appealing. And once Cody punched me in the shoulder for the climax, the third act, I wish he had left me sleeping, because there's a lot of misdirection. There's a lot of red herrings, and I mean red herrings.
It's to the point where they give you so much misdirection and so much red herrings to where it's just like, for me, it didn't work, because I was discussing with him again, just like with Scream 5, it's going to be a huge hit on my score. I pegged the killer within 15 minutes. Yeah. And I stuck with it. Yeah. I was like, no. Every time they tried to misdirect me, I'm like, bullshit. That one thing with that one thing, no. Yeah. But even if you are somebody that's trying to figure it out and you're kind of wishy-washy, I'm not sure. The end, or the last 30 minutes or whatever, starts to put so much into there where it's just like, fuck it, it could be anybody for any reason at any time at this point.
And it's funny, they acknowledged like a bunch of things that people were like theorizing on the internet. But they even brought up Stu, and it's like, oh, wait a minute. Oh, they brought up Stu, and then they brought up something else that was, somebody dying, and it's like it was just, it was interesting.
They basically set up a motive and a red herring for every character in this movie, as well as brought up shit that has nothing to do with what we've seen in the advertisement that like Twitter and everybody has been going through. So it's just like, oh, fuck you don't know what's going on, bitch. And it's just,
it was like half a fan film for like, here's fan service because I know you want this. Here, we're just gonna bring this up. But this is hard to talk about without spoiling it, so
I think even bringing up the Stu line was just like, ooh, maybe edit that.
All right, so I didn't say anything. But they brought things up that it lets you know that they certainly read Twitter, I guess is the best way to put it. But I need to spoil this, so the next time we talk will probably be...
Yeah, I'll record my review, and we'll do a spoiler couch talk or something.
The CNC Movie Factory. Whee! And we got one movie left too. Hi. So we're out of 65. 65 stands for a million years ago. Could also mean how long the movie feels. 65 million years. And you were right about your selection of movies.
Turns out Scream 6 was the highlight.
Yeah.
It looked better in retrospect. I was like, it was a little harsh.
Yeah.
I mean, 65 is not terrible, but
the CGI is great. That's the one thing I'll give it. The CGI was
all
really
of
good.
the best parts are in the trailer.
Yes, yeah,
and all of the best parts are mostly third act.
Shocker.
That thing dragged its ass. I mean, it was like I looked at my phone, which I rarely do, and I was just like, dude, this movie's been on for an hour. It feels like it's been on for two, and still nothing really has happened.
I don't know if you heard me, but I said this is the type of movie that, like, if it was on at home, I would get up and piss and not pause it or anything because I know nothing's gonna change.
It was weird because, like, the first act, I thought, like, they trim so much, like, story or setup or explanation from the first act. They're just like, just get it started. And I was like, okay, that's usually an indicator this thing is just going to be like a mile a minute.
Yeah, it felt like it had like the Alien Covenant type approach. All right, crash land and figure out what's going on with this planet.
Exactly, and then it's just it's Adam Driver and girl who can't speak English. Walking. Yeah,
and she's looking for her family.
Yeah, and then about an hour into the film, they're like, "Oh fuck, something's happening in like 12 hours. We gotta go."
Yeah,
and the movie,
but they don't speed up.
The movie doesn't change pace at all. It's just like, we'll get there eventually.
Yeah, we're doomed, but my legs are sore. I don't know about that.
Yeah, I don't know. It annoyed me. Like, not that The Last of Us is the most original idea in the world. There's elements of that we've seen in other films. But
sure.
It really feels like somebody's played The Last of Us and said, change the clickers to dinosaurs, and fuck yes. And
make sure the two people can't communicate properly because that's necessary.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's I really wanted to like both movies tonight, but after Scream, I was like, all right, come on, 65, be something dumb that I just want to enjoy. And I wanted to enjoy it, but it's so light. There's no conflict. They're just walking.
We got to get home. Yeah. They tell you what the destination is, and then they just walk to that destination for an hour and a half.
Right. They come across little dinosaurs every now and again, and
mostly little dinosaurs.
Yeah. And
let's put it this way. You guys know how cantankerous I am when it comes to people behaving in the theaters. The dude in front of us was vaping the entire movie and checking his phone regularly, and I was like, I get it. I'm not even mad. What's that email say? Maybe there's plot in that email.
Can you pass the vape piece? What is in that? Of the two movies tonight, Scream Scream 6 sits above 65 for me.
By a good bit for me.
Yeah. It wait for home is what I would say.
Yeah.
And then take a piss during the middle hour.
Any of the acts.
All right, bye guys.